Hey Kings fans, it's Caleb Rappaport with InfanityTV. Well, Game 15 of the young NHL season, the Kings are coming off a really impressive win against the Winnipeg Jets, shutting them out the other night, 3-0 here at home. But tonight, it's a different story. The defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers came to town, and the Kings just couldn't keep that momentum. They gave up a shorthanded goal, which they lead the league in, and a lot of other mistakes in their defensive zone. We heard from some of the players, like Mikey Anderson.
Them credit too, they defend hard. I mean, there's a reason why they win. So yeah, I think everyone would want to, so it's hard, but.
Corey Perry shows up on the score sheet again, gets in a fight tonight. Is he letting his presence be known in the locker room as well during intermissions of games like this?
Yeah, he's played enough games now. He's been around. He knows what it takes. He's a guy I think everyone will look to, even if he's a little quieter and maybe doesn't always, the vocal guy. You watch him play, whatever we are, 14 games in, it's pretty evident he's making a mark.
Like 9 games now, 3 goals or more. You guys have given up in a row. What it seems like just it rains, it pours. How do you explain something like that?
I thought if you come off the Winnipeg game, I thought we did a good job. Didn't give up a whole lot, and we did. Darce came up with saves, and then today they scored a breakaway on the PP. They had another one in the third, maybe a bounce here or there. Not crazy plays. I think some of it comes back to us having a breakdown, and again, they're going to capitalize when they get them.
Did you look back at some of the chances you had earlier in the game when you had the lead or when it was tied, that maybe if you guys had converted, it would have been a different game?
Yeah. Again, that's the way it goes, though. Sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't. Right now, it seems like maybe they're not going our way a fair amount more than they are. But again, it's trying to stick with it, stay positive, and keep building.
PK's been a pretty big focus for you guys, trying to get that right. Some of it seems like you're just taking less penalties, but what has been going better on that unit?
Yeah, big help is taking less. If you play the same 5-10 guys and they know what we're doing, it's hard to, they'll make changes, but trying to get back to what we want to do and focus more about us, less about what they're doing, and it's been something to try and keep building on.
After a first period like tonight where you had a lot of great chances, but it's still tied, what's the feeling for it in the locker room during intermission after that? Is it frustration? Is it positivity that you want to try to keep that going? What's the feeling there?
I think it can be both. Obviously, guys may be disappointed it doesn't go for them, but if we're getting chances and game over game, you keep getting looks. Eventually, you got to think they're going to go in. So it's trying to stay with it and be ready when you get a chance. You can bear down and put it in.
Thanks, Mikey.
As Mikey said, the game can go south just with a bad bounce, a mistake here. The momentum changes that quickly. Trevor Moore had some more to say about that.
I think, probably got to get to the dirty areas a little bit more. I think Perry's a good example of that. He's been getting there and getting rewarded. Give our D a chance to shoot through a screen. And then just bearing down. We've had chances, but we should have put them in.
Trevor, you guys haven't really been able to build some real momentum here, really string a few wins together. Has it become frustrating at all, or is it a thing where you don't want to panic and get outside of yourselves as you try to build momentum?
Yeah, obviously can't panic. We'd like to score more. I'd like to score more. It's just not happening right now. But we like what we've seen in a lot of areas of our game. We don't want to get away from those. And, like you said, just keep building.
It's the best thing for this team to go out on the road now?
Yeah, sure. Some good bonding, kind of you against the building, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Trevor, hearing the Boo Birds tonight as you guys left, I don't know if did you hear that?
I didn't hear it. No, but, happens. Sports.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, guys.
After the Kings scored again, just 2 goals, it's not enough to win. Coach Hiller had this to say.
What was the most disappointing thing about tonight?
Well, there was more than one. I don't know if I can tell you the most disappointing. There's more than one. Shorthanded goal when we have a chance to put our stamp on it, and we let one go the other way. Not the first time this year either. So that's a big momentum swing in the game. Some messy at the end. That's not as much. That was a big moment. We came out with lots of energy in the third period. We had 3 or 4 good looks around Bobrovsky. Had a chance to push, and then shot ourselves in the foot, I guess you'd call it. It's one of the words, one of the phrases. There's a few different ones.
Jim, when we've talked to you throughout the season, you've mentioned how throughout the game you guys have played well, but there's been these mental mistakes, and it happened again tonight, turnovers, bad penalties. Why do those continue to happen throughout the season so far at the start?
Yeah, well, I would say that they probably happen all over the league at this time. Well, not this time, all season. The game, it's very few times that, because the league is so good, that a player or two can just go and make something happen on their own. The game is a game of mistakes. When somebody makes a mistake, then somebody takes advantage of it. And right now, when we're making a mistake, they're taking pretty good advantage of it. They have made a few mistakes tonight too. They took some penalties tonight too. We just are not taking advantage of those opportunities in those times. If you look at it, there wasn't one or two guys that just skated through, pulled this puck through, and it's mistakes and capitalizing. We are making mistakes, they're capitalizing. We are not capitalizing when we get our opportunities. That's a big part of it right now.
For those opportunities that you weren't able to capitalize on, do you look back at maybe the first period when maybe you could have taken the control of the game, or do you look back at maybe the third when you were still in it for a little bit and then couldn't get back?
Yeah, no, it's the whole game. The game's usually a one-goal league. You know what I mean? So if we get a lead early, they're probably going to push, and it's probably going to be tight. That's the story of our team. It's always a tight game, but we had opportunities. They were able to finish. We did not finish, but what I would say is we were around their net a fair amount. I know Paris scored a breakaway goal tonight, but if you want to score goals, you got to go to the front of the net. You got to go to the front of the net. And if you haven't scored enough, I would argue it's because you haven't been there enough. And to get those breakdowns, mistakes, it's hard to score on the outside and making passes. It's just, you'll get some, but you're not going to get a lot.
It's 11 games without a goal for Quinton Byfield. What's going on there?
I mean, I don't know. He's trying. And I think he hit the crossbar early in the third. I guess you can back up to how I answered the last question. I would say if you're not scoring, if it's been 11 games, I'd spend a little more time around the net front, and I would make it a little simpler as far as being direct with the puck. I mean, there's no other magic formula outside of that. He's working. You know what I mean? If I say, hey, he's not working, no, he's playing his game. He's probably not inside enough.
Ending a homestand with a game like that, going out on a long road trip, is it good to have 2 days off, or would you rather get back at it as quickly as possible?
I mean, we got a long flight out to Pittsburgh tomorrow, so we'll get a practice in. I think that's always good. It's the practice time this season in particular is few and far between. So we'll have a long day, have a practice, and then a 2 o'clock game. So there's not much time for anything really, and you just have to make sure that minimize as many of the mistakes as you can. You're never going to go clean, and then we got to find a way to score some goals when we're in around the net. That's what I would say. It's not too complicated.
You found some footing with the last road trip. There is this one coming at a good time for you guys? You know, given that the last road trip, you won 4 out of 5. You could have even swept it or whatsoever. Yeah. Is this road trip coming at a good time for you guys?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I have a good answer for that, Eric. What I would say is, whenever the next game comes, whether it was at home or on the road, I don't think there's an advantage, to get out on the road. But we have to be ready to go from the start. It's an early goal again, right? Jersey was an early goal I didn't like. This was an early goal again. Puts you behind the 8 ball. And not that we didn't come out hard, but we just made a mistake and it's in our net.
Last question,
You talked about Q, but he's not the only one that's cold. I think, Kopi finally gets one to go tonight, but you've gotten 3 goals from your centers all season. Is there something systematic that you're seeing, something lacking in execution? It certainly seems to be unusual for what we expect from those 4 guys.
Yeah, they're snake bitten a little bit, but I would tell you, Cope scored tonight. Where did he score from? Right in front of Bobrovsky. You know what I mean? And it's not that simple. You have to work the puck up the ice, and somebody has to get it there, stand in front of the net. But what I would say is, if you have the opportunity and we've got possession, that's where you want to end up.
Perfect. Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
The Kings need to score more goals. Coach Hiller said that they need to go to the net to do that. Let's see if they can really turn this around on the road. The Kings start a 4-game road trip. This is Caleb Rappaport for InfanityTV.com.